not that kind of person. So you just have to know what kind of person you are.
Boom.
A little less.
Okay, I'm trying my new camera.
Thinking about it.
Oh, front angle. Interesting. You can see the back of my whole apartment too.
So you have to know
Can I like zoom out on this thing? It's so close. Well, hello, wonderful people. Please bear with while I. First of all, I just want to say I hate HD, so let's do that. I personally just feel like HD was one of the worst inventions on planet Earth. Oh, let me turn the. I'm watching this interesting show. It's a Black woman talking about her experiences traveling to different countries, and she's got a whole network of other Black women she's been talking to, and quite amazing, quite amazing. Okay, let's see. Just give me a few seconds here. So I guess that looks fine, right? I mean, I've seen worse. I've seen worse. Okay. Okay. Well, hello, wonderful people. We'll get started in 3 minutes. I'm just going to tie up some loose ends. I thought I'd go ahead and turn it on now. Just to, I don't know, maybe set a mood, make things feel comfortable. Welcome, just say welcome early. I didn't want to just sit here, you know. Why sit in silence when I could just start a connection now? You know, so there you go. So just hang tight and breathe. I have 3 minutes till class starts. I could tell you some drama about, well, I could tell you a bunch of things. I'll save it for 3 minutes, in 3 minutes. So there you go. Oh, okay, now I'm ready to vent. Here we go. So, so hold on. Let's do this. So, welcome everyone. This is the Advanced Emotions for Dummies series for the month of March. Woo woo, woo woo. If you came to this, you are here to get your feelings on. Let's see. I am trying to organize some counseling sessions with a young person. I've been having a hard time making it happen. How about that? So I've been having my name is Dr. Caesar, Dr. Donny. My name was Dr. Caesar, but I got it legally changed last year. One great thing to come out of 2020. And I'm a sociology professor who has gotten into social emotional learning, but I am also going back to school to become a counselor. Going back to school to become a counselor. Get my pride jewelry looking right here. Going back to school to become a counselor. And so I'm working on getting students to do counseling with, to encourage them to stay in school or get their grades up and that kind of thing. And it's been frustrating as hell because nobody really wants to do anything. No counseling, nobody really wants to do anything. Everybody's burnt out and on Zoom. And so, you know, like it's been like a month and a half trying to get this young man to meet with me for just 2 sessions. It's been a month and a half. Okay, so I'm really getting kind of fed up with the whole thing, to be quite honest with you. It's bringing me to a place where I feel like it's really frustrating me. And so I am really kind of on the verge of having to make some decisions here. So here's part of it. Well, I made a decision that I am not going to continue with online classes myself after this semester. I'm quitting my own online classes. I'm quitting. I'm not continuing in this counseling program. I'm just too burnt out. I'm just too burnt out. Hey, hold up. Let me try a different camera angle here. Hold up. This was my old camera angle. Oh my God, that looks so amazingly different. How is that? Isn't that crazy? Look at that. Look at that. Huh. Amazing. Well, anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to continue with classes going forward. I don't like being online. I don't blame the students for not wanting to even do the counseling or because they're not doing well in school at all. And they must feel they must feel bad too. Burnt out. I get it. I get it. But this is a frustrating situation. So I don't know. I'm saying it the way I'm saying it because I'm actually really on the verge of kind of being like, screw it, and just like dropping this class altogether, just saying, screw it. I can't make anything work. I'm having a hard time. I'm just not feeling it right now. And I think I'd like to drop this class. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I'm right there on the razor's edge of that. I may just be sending an email saying I'm going to drop this class because it's just, I think I got 3 classes. So 2 of them, I think I'm going to be just fine. But if I don't manage to get some regular sessions with this guy, I'm going to have a problem. So. Okay, I'm going to send him a link. Okay, he said he'll meet with me on Monday, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. You know, young people are not the greatest about being punctual, and their parents should be helping them, and that's not necessarily happening. And the parents are working, and a lot of people kind of have this. Let's school. So it's the role of school to help facilitate the kids to get things done, and school can only do so much because school's on Zoom, and so there's no one can really absolutely make sure your kid is sitting in class and paying attention. And a lot of times the parents don't even know how to submit assignments correctly or things like this. So it's a mess. It's a mess, especially at the school where I'm at, which is predominantly lower income, and it's Black and brown. So there's a lot of lower income students, but there's a lot of Hispanic students who English may not even be their language. So there's a lot. They're doing the best they can. And so it's just something. It's something. I got a student right now who's just who I really want to give a lot of help to, and I'm having a hard time even making the meetings happen. So it's very frustrating. Especially considering I'm a PhD professor. Like I have a lot of skills I can offer this kid, but he can't see that. He can't see that at all. He's a kid. He's a 12-year-old. He can't see that at all. He knows, that means something important, but he doesn't really know what any of that means. So it's been really funny. It's been really funny. I tried to explain to him how to get a PhD, and his whole response to it was just sort of like, he just kind of he couldn't take hearing the story forever. So he just kind of like cut me off. He just kind of cut me off. That is amazing. I like this camera better than I like this camera. Camera's too like in your face intrusive. Just like someone watching me. I don't know. I gotta debate that. This camera looks a lot more smooth and polished. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Now that I have another camera. Oh, no. Sorry. Okay, now that I got this one, let's see if I can put a background. I've never put a virtual background on it. Hey, look, it gets my hair. That's cool. Oh, let's do this. It's my cat. Studio effects. Studio effects. What do you mean studio? I already have a mustache and beard. What do you mean? Oh, dear. Really? Oh, interesting. Oh, Oh no, what's going on? Oh, that is just, there's all kinds of things you can do now. Do you all know that? What's this? Oh. Okay, well, today we're doing, oh, too precious. Too precious. Look at this. Okay, we're about to start class. We are totally about to start class. Just let me, oh my, oh my. Aww. I don't know if I really want to be the ornamentation. Like, I don't necessarily. Well, today in class, we're doing inner baby work. So if I have anything that reminds you of a baby, oh, well, let's use it. Okay. Anything in here remind you of a baby? That looks like a piece of pizza. I don't know about that. Anything here remind you of a baby? Oh, please, no mask. Oh my God, no mask. That's kind of baby-like. Well, that's cute. That's cool, but okay, this is about the best we're gonna get, I guess. He reminds me of a little somebody. He's special. Look at him. He's right there. Hey there. Oh, hey there. How's it going? How's it going? Okay. All right. Well, so why don't we go ahead and get started? It's 5:08 anyway. So welcome. I said a bunch of stuff earlier. So hi, my name's Dr. Donny, and this is the Advanced Emotions for Dummies series. If you are here, if you are watching this, you are watching this because you wanted to get an developed advanced connection with your feelings. Okay, I teach classes on social emotional learning. I have 3 courses. One is a beginner emotions for dummies, a regular emotions for dummies, and then a advanced emotions for dummies. Okay, so I gotta say, I have to like look at this camera instead of looking up at me. It's kind of hard to do. Oh my gosh, that's so hard to do. Okay, so this is the beginning of the advanced series. Each series, the beginner, the regular, and the advanced all happened in 1 month each. 4 classes, 1 month each. So you can pop in anytime. You can pop in anytime, but I want to tell you that this is the advanced series. And as the advanced series, we are going to dig, really deep, really fast into your feelings. Okay. So today we're going to look at some things. I just want to just explain this. I don't normally pick a background like I did here, but I picked all this cute cuddly stuff because we are doing inner baby work today. I'm going to read through what that is. And we're going to go through a whole bunch of discussions around what that is. And so because of that, I wanted some cute cuddly things that might remind you of children or childhood. Okay, so there's this little guy right here. This little guy right here. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Good for you. Good for you. And then there's my cat. I have a picture of my cat in the background also. Okay, so if you like that. Okay, so why don't we just go ahead and get started, right? Like I said before, this is an advanced series, so do expect this to be a very intense experience. I intend to really, these are the advanced tools that hopefully you have practiced the regular tools. So if this is your first time in this class, if you haven't taken the regular series, please take care. Please take care. Oh, I see. It's right here. Please take care, okay? All of our exercises come from this workbook that I put together called the Book of You. The Book of You, the social emotional workbook. I don't think anyone. There. The Book of You is a social emotional workbook that's dedicated to helping you get in touch with your thoughts and feelings. Okay. Feel free to donate if this workbook helps you. All this wonderful links here. You now own it. You can read all this wonderful stuff later. But the idea is, this is a workbook for helping you get in touch with your feelings. So I'm going to scroll to the table of contents here. There is just a whole series of material here for helping you do just that. Okay. Part one is actually is what I use to put together the beginner and the regular series. Okay, so you learn how to meditate, tell yourself the truth, an emotions list, judge your neighbor worksheets, how to heal from trauma, self-love, meditating on emotions. We do all that. The body scan and the ego killer midterm is all done in my beginner and regular series. Now that you have the book of you, you also get some extra exercises that are in realizing our dreams and goals, number 4, and how to let go. Oh, and working with fear. Okay, so those are all wonderful exercises to help you with your thoughts and feelings. And today, we are going to pick from some of these exercises for the next 4 weeks for our advanced work. Okay, as you can see, part 1 was discovering emotions, questioning beliefs. Part 2 is inner child work. Inner child work. So today we are going to look at inner baby work, which is self-soothing and attachment. Okay, we're going to go through this. And if we have any extra time, maybe we will also read through some information on childhood emotional abuse. But actually, I think what we may do instead is just go through the inner baby work today. And then I can leave that up to anybody who watches this video and has access to this workbook. You can read the emotional abuse section on your own. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at inner baby work, page 35. So this is built on the assumption that, you've taken this before, so you probably know how to meditate. You have experience with meditation. Okay. So why don't we have a little meditation? I can put on some nice music. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do it. Um, uh, oh, you know what we should do? We should do. Let's pick some, you know what, since we're doing inner baby stuff, why don't we pick some baby music? Baby music to go to sleep. Come on, baby music to go to sleep. Oh, let's go with this. Let's go with this. So take some deep breaths. Take some deep breaths. Notice your breathing. Chest or in the belly. Nice. Whatever you need to feel comfortable, please go for it. If that means staying in bed, grabbing a special toy, sipping some tea, whatever you need. This is all about self-soothing. So this is the term self-soothing may be a foreign concept for you. So we're going to learn what it is, okay, in detail. Okay, actually, why don't let's do this. Keep breathing. Notice your mind. And whatever you feel in your mind, allow it to sink down into your heart. With all that energy that you normally would keep in your brain, let it all sink down into your heart. After about 9 months of being in our mother's womb, we are born. However, babies are born emotionally complete, but physically completely helpless. So helpless, they are even born without the ability to make themselves feel better when they get upset, or what's called self-soothing. Aside from thumb sucking, which can happen in the womb, the first 6 months of a baby's life requires their parents to look at them lovingly, touch them, hold them, nurse them, and rock them to sleep. Babies are born with mirror neurons that are trained to mimic the actions of what they see. At the age of 6 to 9 months, with the role modeling of parents, babies begin to self-soothe on their own. This forms the basis for developing a healthy or secure attachment style that builds self-care and self-esteem as babies develop into children. Examples of self-soothing for babies are grabbing a soft object, patting and rubbing themselves, soft music, or even looking into a mirror, because babies have no self-judgment. As they get older, babies with secure attachments develop interdependence, where they are willing to explore fear and danger in the world because they know they can return home to a safe place. If you did not get this level of assured safety as a baby, or if you were abused or neglected back then, you may have attached to caregivers that left you feeling some combination of anxious, avoidant, disorganized, or reactive. Feelings which we take into our adulthood and form the basis of our adult attachment style. Ongoing or major episodes of stress and trauma can disrupt a baby's emotional system. However, because these feelings occurred at a pre-verbal stage, they may just be fragments of a scary or sad experience and not whole memories, which can lead to confusing, overwhelming emotions and flashbacks, irrational thinking like you're going crazy, hypervigilance, constantly on the lookout for danger, depressed and negative thinking, and a host of health problems like migraines, allergies, and chronic pain in adulthood. Self-soothing is critical because it resets the amygdala, the part of the brain that deals with emotions and flight or fight responses. And it teaches us distress tolerance, the ability to get through a crisis you can't manage or solve. These things work better than unhealthy skills like constantly fidgeting, binge eating, drugs and other addictions, sex, social isolation, or lashing out at other people. Self-soothing teaches us to treat ourselves with compassion, kindness, and care. Self-soothing involves reconnecting to the senses. Find enjoyable things to see, hear, smell, touch, taste, or move to. Healthy adult versions of self-soothing are hugging, wrapping in a blanket, a warm bath, brushing your hair, nature walks, calming music, sipping tea, sucking a lollipop, petting a cat or dog, scented candles. That would be nice. I wouldn't mind getting me a scented candle. The smell of something cooking, the sound of the ocean, coloring books, fidget toys, and journaling. The list will be different for everyone, but in general, soothing things are warm, dark, quiet, mellow, sweet, soft, rhythmic, or cuddly. Also, many of these things are similar to grounding techniques, like walking barefoot on grass, eating slow, focusing on the breath, or stretching. Eating slow, focusing on the breath, and stretching. Many people have a hard time with self-soothing. Not getting this from our parents leads us to be hard on or abandon ourselves. As adults, we adopt beliefs that we have to be tough, or that we don't deserve care, or we are guilty or ashamed, or we are too afraid to try because the exercises are childish or awkward. You could say I look pretty childish right now, couldn't you? Oh my gosh. With my penguin sheet here, my penguin blanket, and my cat picture, and this little thing here. Looking pretty childish today. It's important to note that we are healing our emotional connection with the inner baby. Self-soothing may not make any sense to the rational part of the brain, but it's the emotional part that's the most important. Oh, jeez. We don't make fun of babies for doing these things, so don't make fun of the part of you that will always be a baby. Imagine walking into a room and hearing a crying baby. Okay, let's see. Walk into the room. There's a baby. You pick up the baby and you see it's you as a baby. Take a look at the baby. See the baby look at you. Take in how you feel. Take in how the baby feels about you. And let's say your baby starts to cry the way babies do. So all of a sudden, just okay, like that. What do you do to soothe this baby? What do you do to soothe you as a baby? Maybe rock your little baby side to side. And if whatever you do, do it for yourself, you know. I'm holding a little toy here, and that's really helping me a lot. But, hold yourself. That's what we're doing. Getting in touch with the inner baby. You might say loving things to your inner baby, like, it's okay. I'm here. I love you. You are safe. I got you, little baby. Say it in rhythm or sing a little song. Okay. What do you need to do to soothe your inner baby? And it's entirely possible you may feel unpleasant feelings doing this. You may feel hurt and pain and scary things. And if you do, what do you do to soothe this inner baby? For some people, this action of giving themselves this much comfort, care, vulnerability, sends them into a total freak out, scare, negative feelings, okay? So if that happens to be you, remember, we're doing this to get in connection with those things that may be buried down there. That is the point of this. So many of us have been deprived the care we really need to be whole human beings. Our family members, our mommies and daddies did the best they could. They did the best they could, and from where they came from, who knows, right? From where they came from. They need to be here in this classroom also. Okay. Yeah. You may want to tell your little baby, I'm sorry. You may have a feeling of just intense anger and hatred towards your little baby. Whatever you feel. And you have options. You can pat yourself, rub. You don't have to close your eyes. We're just touching base. Okay? This is going to go deep. But if this is your first time ever even meeting your inner baby and your inner baby reaction was negative, please take care. Please take care, okay? If it helps, try to move into what will soothe your baby. Ask, what would soothe this moment? How can I give you peace, comfort in this moment? And if it's soothing tears or, if it's a soothing feeling, if it feels good, let yourself just ride on it, okay? I know the first few times I did this exercise, I cried a whole lot. If you want to take this even deeper, I said by no means do you have to, but if you are interested in taking it even deeper, you can imagine yourself as the baby, being held, being rocked, being loved without having to do anything in return. Oh, I really needed that. You feel like you've done this to your satisfaction. Your baby's nice and quiet, comatose like the way babies are. Totally going to sleep. I'm here for you. A little blanket over them. Safe, allow yourself to walk out of the room. Like you're walking out of a room toward a door. Opening the door and leaving the room, knowing your baby is safe. And when you feel ready, slowly allow yourself to come back to the surface, to outer space. Slowly, slowly when you're ready. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Pause that. Okay, that was wonderful. I hope that was good for you as it was for me. Okay, let's keep moving. We have a few more things we're gonna do. The next part of this is boring self-care. We have a thing on attachment we're going to do after this. That's going to take up the second hour. So for the next 20 minutes, let's take a look at this. Boring self-care, these pictures here. I'll read this description. The best definition of self-care I ever heard was living in such a way that you never feel the need to take a vacation from your life. Okay, let me reread that. Living in such a way that you never feel the need to take a vacation from your life. Okay, so by that measure, how's your self-care going, huh? How did 2020, how did your self-care go in 2020, huh? Okay. Well, boring self-care is an Instagram meme that is about celebrating the everyday things we do to take care of ourselves and our lives. So many of us struggle to accomplish basic self-care, and then we beat ourselves up for not doing them. So use the space here to draw your own boring self-care picture, and this is a form of art therapy. So let me read you some of these examples here. This one says, let me see, can I blow this up at all? Can I make it bigger? Probably, let me not do that, because it'll get all, yeah, let me not do that. So if you can read this, I'm sure if you look really closely, it says, woke up and got out of bed before 12 p.m. Okay, boring self-care. Did the dishes, which I'm happy to say I now have a dishwasher, a portable dishwasher. So doing my dishes is actually a lot of fun right now. Cut my toenails. Okay, I cut my toenails today for the first time in probably 6 months. Haven't even looked at my feet. It's been so cold. I've just been wearing socks every day. I didn't have to cut my toenails. I could let them just grow as long and gnarly as possible. I did it because I wanted nicer feet. You all don't know this maybe, but I'm somebody who actually goes and gets pedicures on a monthly basis. I get my toenails painted. I get them cut, the massage chair. I love all of it. I love all of it. Okay, but since the coronavirus, I haven't been to a salon because I got very afraid of the coronavirus. So cutting my toenails, that's one step towards moving back to normal, my old life. Well, that's one step toward moving towards something I like. Okay, so look, cut my toenails. Celebrate it. Celebrate cutting your toenails. Even that's important. Went outside. Okay, this whole days I haven't gone outside. I was so busy working. Went out in the sun. A lot of us are doing that now. Empty the bin. Man, I did a lot of these today. Ain't that something? Huh. I did that today too. Went food shopping. I did that also, although I did it online. It's coming in tomorrow, but I did this also today. And rested. I did this also today as well because I got food poisoning last night. I love spending $30 on takeout so I can get food poisoning. Ain't that a gift? What a wonderful extra gift that was. So rested. I had to rest all day today. I'm feeling kind of woozy. Also because of that exercise, but also because of my stomach. And then this big one here says, wore day clothes in the daytime and night clothes at night. Day clothes in the daytime and night clothes at night. Okay. How many of us, you don't have to change out of your clothes ever. You can just wear your night clothes all day long or wear your day clothes and go to sleep in them. I have done both many times. I have done both many times. Okay, this is a huge accomplishment here. A huge accomplishment. Okay, boring self-care. So important. Oh, there's a few more here too. Survived a day at work. For me, especially with the being in school, survived a day at school. Absolutely. Absolutely. Somebody needs to congratulate me for surviving a day at school. All these milestones, the milestone of getting a degree is full of all kinds of mini milestones of getting through every exam, making it to the weekend, surviving all the classes, Your family might be there for you at the graduation at the end, but you may not have anybody cheering you on the day-to-day level. You may not, right? So the one person who really needs to cheer you on a day-to-day level has got to be you. Okay. And if you don't know how to do that, or if you don't like it, if you don't like the amount of, if it don't feel good yet, then we all got to learn how to get better at it. We all got to learn how to get better at it. Okay. Every congratulations, every cheers you ever got was to help you get to a place so you can give it to you on a day-to-day level. Okay. So hard. Survive the day at work, survive the day at school. Did my homework. This says opened a window. Okay, opened a window. Hey, let me give you a few more. I went and bought a daylight lamp for my dark ass apartment so I can finally get some sunlight in my apartment. I started taking care of this plant that I had long neglected. I made a list of the things I need to do. I stopped making a list for about a month now. I finally got back into making a list to help me stay on track. I played the guitar today. I laid in bed. I didn't have to just lay in. Well, I didn't have to laying in bed. That's one. That's the self-care right there. But also, I laid in bed and played the guitar. That was something comforting. I didn't have to play the guitar today. I chose to bring music into my life. That's self-care. That's self-care. I ate some fruit today. I ate a fruit. That's actually one of the things that's mentioned in the self-care list that's in the beginning of this workbook. Eat a fruit. Okay, I ate a fruit today. I didn't have to eat fruit. I could have just I could have ate I could have ate Burger King, unhealthy food, all sorts of that stuff. I chose to eat healthy today. Self-care. Okay, so you see the importance of this? It just takes these ordinary moments and really you might have just ignored altogether as whatever. And then you can see how all of these things are actually ways you are supporting yourself every day. They don't have to happen. You choose to make them happen because you care about yourself. A real nice example might be, going to the bathroom. I woke up in the morning and I went to the bathroom. I didn't have to go to the bathroom. I didn't have to. I could have chosen to just, hold it in until I went all over myself, and I could have just stayed stinky all day. Okay. I chose to go to the bathroom. I chose to flush. I didn't want to smell it all day long either. I chose to flush. That's self-care. I care about what I smell like, what I smell around me. I care about that. That's self-care. Wow. I hadn't thought about it like that before, but yeah, okay, wow. I almost want to say, anybody who went through what I went through would also struggle with this issue. Or anyone who went through what I went through would see the achievement this is for me. Validate those feelings. Validate those feelings. So many of us were, I'll just say this. So many of us were traumatized, abused as children through basic things like just our daily habits. We were told constantly we couldn't do something we wanted to do, or we could do something, but only if we did it, their way instead of the way we wanted to do it, or we just were constantly told no. So we couldn't do a basic thing we wanted to do for ourselves. So that teaches us a whole sort of learned helplessness. It teaches us learned helplessness. It teaches us resentment. And those things can lay buried inside of us for a long time and really poison us, poison that little kid spirit. you know? So it's important to get in touch with whatever comes up for you. Doing this exercise, okay? For some reason, giving these exercises about the bathroom is bringing up something for me. So I don't know what it is, but I'm just gonna make space to just be open to it. And I can tell you this, I hid in the bathroom a lot as a kid. That was kind of my way of avoiding my parents. I used to always want to grow my hair out as a kid, kind of like I am now. Um, my parents wouldn't let me. I was very upset about that for a very long time, very angry about that. Yeah. Yeah. All of my like gender exploration happened in the bathroom, away from everyone else. Hmm. The fact that I even attempted to explore those things in the bathroom was another attempt at self-care right there. Remember it being so scary. Putting on my mom's like lipstick. Once I tried, she had some black lipstick. So I was like, that's interesting. Let me give that a shot. And I was so terrified to try it though. But it was weird because I wanted to try it, but I was also terrified and had no one to talk to about that experience at all, just locked in the bathroom. Mm. So whatever kind of self-care I can give myself for my bathroom habits, that's important. That little kid needed support. So I need to give that little kid the support he didn't get back then. He or she didn't get back then. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 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 Now I didn't actually draw a self-care one. I just continued my meditation. But if you would like to draw one, feel free. Okay. I'm glad I kind of didn't draw. Went to the bathroom today. I wonder what would that look like? It'd be like a little trickle into the toilet, a toilet bowl. Okay. Okay. So let's move on to the final section of our class today. So as I read earlier, an important part of this important part of this inner baby work is your attachment style. And so it's important to find out what that is. So here is an attachment style mini questionnaire. Okay. So now, I would say the idea is to look for your general way of being. Okay. So if you start looking at one relationship and say, well, totally, but this other relationship, totally not, the idea is to look for your general way of being. You may want to focus on, super deep love connections, because that's what obviously the deepest attachments you're going to have to, right? So if that super deep love connection is a partner in your life right now, go with that. If you want to do it on relationships, your who you are in intimate relationships, you could do that too. That's a good one. Who you are when you're in an intimate relationship. But if you don't have a whole lot of experience with that, you could also just do it on your relationship with your parents or significant caregivers. Okay. Or do it on any relationship that you're really, really, really connected to. Okay. Yeah, the book says, who is your primary, or this worksheet says, who is your primary go-to person if you're sick, in trouble, want to celebrate, call with news, etc. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to fill this out so you know which ones are you. Okay, I'm going to fill this out. And then after we fill it out, we are going to turn this into a discussion meditation. Okay, we're going to go. I will blow this up into a bigger amount, bigger font level, size, zoom. There we go. I can't read that. There we go. Oh, it's getting too big. So big. It's not, nothing's moving either. This is what I knew would happen if I, oh, here we go. Oh, no, there we go. Okay. And then so yeah, you're gonna fill it out so you know which one's you. Then we're gonna meditate on this. So after you fill it out, we'll just pause for a bit, and you're welcome to read all the rest of this. Okay. Feel free to process whatever comes up for you because this can be heavy. Attachment styles cut to the core of who we are. Okay, so and you may not be super conscious of it either. So be mindful of that. Okay. So just fill it out. Put your answers. I'm going to do mine on a notebook, and just pause, and then we'll move on to part two. I'm going to just make a list 1 through 10, and then I'll put S for secure, A for anxious ambivalent. Well, I guess that'd be AA, huh? And I'll put AD for avoidant dismissive, and DD for disorganized and disoriented. Let's see. I'm moving on to the anxious one. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the avoidant dismissive category. I had to put a couple of 0.5s into these, just so you know. I got a 1.5 and a 2.5 here. Okay, and then I'm going to do the disorganized. Okay. Okay, so then add them up. Okay. All right, that was pretty easy math. Oh, I like easy math. So for me, for the secure one, I got 20.5, which is my second highest score, 20.5. So that's good. That's good. Okay. For the anxious one, I got 10.5. For the avoidant dismissive one, I got 21.5, and that is my highest one. And for the disorganized, disoriented, I got 14.5. Okay, so what that means is that my main attachment style is avoidant dismissive. And then the next one is secure. So I got super huge issues with this and super huge issues with this. I'm sorry, super positive things with this secure stuff. So by the grace of God, I have a huge chunk of negative issues, but I also got a huge chunk of positive strengths as well. Okay, but it's also important to note that like essentially secure is the only attachment style that's really like the healthy one. So the fact that there are 10, 10.5, and 14.5 are large enough that those are important chunks of how my attachment style works. Okay. Um, yeah. So you could say there's many things that are secure. However, there is also a strong avoidance streak in me, and with the flavoring of anxiousness and disorganized. Okay, and I gotta tell you, I've been sitting with this for a few weeks now. So I gotta tell you, I would have to agree with this. I would have to agree with this pattern. I didn't really think I was that avoidant because I'm here teaching people about feelings, and I mean, I have a PhD and all. I figured I was really directing myself toward all those things. But I have to admit, I've done a lot of avoiding my life by focusing on school and work. Often I'm tackling these things because I'm avoiding building some of the other things going on in my life. I'm very single, so I'm avoiding getting into the relationship and getting really close. But what really got me in particular is when I read, I usually prefer relationships with things or animals instead of people. And I mean, I don't have a relationship with like money, but I definitely have a relationship with animals. My cat, me and my cat are pretty well connected. And I play music. I'm a musician, so I got a relationship with my piano for sure. This computer, putting things together, the stuff I put together, my books. I got a lot of books. I've slept with more books than men, and I've slept with a lot of men. Okay, so I can tell you, yeah. So got a relationship with all those things. Okay, also the one that said I often find eye contact uncomfortable and particularly difficult to maintain. Yeah, I'm not, I mean, sometimes I'm fine with eye contact and sometimes I hate it. I hate it. I keep looking at myself because looking at this camera is like looking at a little eye and I don't like it. And I don't like it. Makes me feel uncomfortable. So I'd rather avoid it. Okay. Okay, so let's do this. Let's meditate on this. Okay. And we're gonna start with the first one. Just hold yourself. Take some deep breaths. And I want you to just read over this list and ask yourself, what happened to you as a kid that would make you become that way? Right? So for example, if I said the number one on secure is I feel relaxed with my partner most of the time. Well, what happened as a kid that would make you into a person that would be relaxed with the partner most of the time? Think about it. I mean, maybe there's an answer there, maybe there's no answer, but just sit with it for a second, okay? What comes up immediately in my mind is all the times I saw my mother, you know, make my father some food and sit down next to him and relax next to him. Loving touches they had between each other. How they kissed each other, I'm going to work, okay, bye, and they gave each other a kiss. That's what comes up for me there. That's what comes up for me there. Okay, one thing you can do is you can look at all the ones you rated high on. Like I rated high on 2 and 5, 2, 5, 8, and 9. 2, easy to flow between being close and being on my own. Keeping agreements with my partner. Oh, let's do that one. Keeping agreements. Now, what happened as a kid that would make me into someone who would strongly believe in keeping agreements with my partner? Well, I'll tell you. I had lots of moments as a kid, not a lot, not lots. I had a few moments as a kid where adults lied to me, where adults said one thing and I just assumed they were going to follow through and then they didn't. And the result of not following through was that I was hurt. I ended up, this is really embarrassing. Yeah, well, it's what it is, but I ended up going to the bathroom on myself as a 5-year-old because of an adult who just was in a mood that day and wouldn't help me. Wouldn't help me. So it turned me, it's definitely made me into someone who takes people's word very seriously. So that way I can always be like, well, you said this and then you didn't do it. So therefore, You know, either I know whether I can trust you or not. And if you don't honor your word, then well, if you don't honor your word, then we don't need to be together. I mean, point blank. Point blank. Okay, and I'm going to tell you, as I told that story, various little things popped in my brain. Okay, and that might happen a lot for you. Okay, just note that. Okay. What else did I say? 8 and 9, 8 and 9. I look at my partner with kindness and caring. I look forward to our time together. I look forward to our time together. I am comfortable being affectionate with my partner. Yeah, what made me into someone who is that way? I would say, yeah, seeing my parents be loving to each other. There was a lot of that. They were pretty loving to each other. There was a lot of expressing love and touching. And, I mean, I wouldn't say it was over the top or in any way, but it was very clear they love each other. You know, they expressed it. My mind just flashes back to seeing all these moments at the dinner table. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Ooh, take a pause. Yeah, let's try the. This is gonna get deeper, okay? I mean, the secure one is the positive one, so the rest get kind of dark. So let's try our best, okay? Let's take a look at the anxious category, anxious ambivalent. Okay, now you can do this. I should also say you could do this in one of two ways. You could ask, what is it that happened to me that made me into a person like this? You know, if you had high numbers, or if you had low numbers, you could ask, what is it that made me into a person who is not like this? Okay. Guess you could have did that for the first one too, but let's see. So for example, I'll read number 1. I am always yearning for something or someone that I feel I cannot have and rarely feel satisfied. Okay, now I put a 2 on that one. So I'm going to say, what happened to me as a kid to make me into someone who would be this way? I would say, yeah, being sad as a kid, not having anyone really on my side in my family. It felt that way many times. I kept hoping, I couldn't wait till I get out of my situation. Kept hoping I would go to college, or I had a Prince Charming that would show up and pull me out of that horrible situation. Yeah, and of course, Prince Charming never came. Well, I guess he did come. It was me. But that's what turned me into a person who feels this way, who has this kind of attachment style. Okay. Now I'm gonna pick a 0. Let's see, number 4. It is difficult for me to say no or to set realistic boundaries. Okay, I'll put a 0 on that. So I'm gonna say, what made me into a person? What happened as a kid to make me into a person that has no problem? That is not difficult to say no or set boundaries. What made me into a person that doesn't have this problem? I had to argue a lot. I had to do a lot of arguing in my family. Me and my parents just didn't agree. So there was a lot of being clear about them wanting something and me not wanting it. So I had to say no to all of that. And I often felt on my own a lot when I was setting things up. So when I was setting things up, if I tried and it didn't work out and I failed, I felt really bad because then it was like, well, I can't even trust my own support. So I got really good at being very practical and realistic. I mean, you could even say maybe too practical and realistic. I don't take nearly as much chances as I could take. I took more chances when I was younger, but I've just noticed as I've gotten older, I find myself, I don't know, I feel like I could be at a place right now where I could be launching into some bigger chances and bigger things, or not. I could go for safety. And I don't know. I'm kind of being confronted with how often I've chosen safety, but didn't realize it. Okay, just being honest there. Just sit with that. Just sit with that. Let's try another one. Let's try number 3. Over focusing on others, I tend to lose myself in relationships. I put a 2 for that. So what made me into someone who would be that way? Well, when I finally did start dating, I was super happy because it meant I was getting out of my home situation. I really wanted to be a good partner, my relationship to go well. So I often put a lot of effort into thinking about, you know, what they would want, what their needs were. To be fair, I put a lot of time thinking about it. That doesn't mean I actually tried to do anything about it or fulfill their needs, but I thought about it at least. And then I got so caught up in thinking about it that, yeah, sometimes I didn't think about what I need. Or the moment I got one piece of information that wasn't what I wanted to hear, that's it. I had a reaction and broke up. I did a lot of that when I was younger, to be honest with you. That part of me is still kind of around. Like, oh no, I'm going to be trapped in another situation, like my family. Okay, let's try one more. One more. Okay, let's try 7. It is difficult for me to be alone. If alone, ooh, if alone, there's a bug in here. If alone, I feel stressed, abandoned, hurt, and or angry. It's difficult for me to be alone. If alone, I feel stressed, abandoned, hurt, and or angry. So for that one, I put a 0. I don't have a problem with being alone at all. At all. So what made me into a person who has no problem with being alone? Who made me into a person where that it is not difficult for me to be alone? I don't feel any of those things when I'm alone. I was alone a lot. I was alone a whole lot as a kid. A whole lot. A whole lot. So I guess I learned real quickly to enjoy my private time, to enjoy my creative passions. I've always said I have a very rich inner life, very rich. Because I just couldn't so guarantee the outer life so well. So I focus on having a real nice inner life. And that's why I don't feel abandoned or hurt when I'm alone. Oh, gosh. Okay, okay, let's keep going. 2 more categories. Let's keep going. Oh, okay. Okay, avoid and dismissive. Now, I said this was the main one for me, right? So I got a lot of high answers on this one. So we might just go through this one and slow a little slow, okay? Now I got a 0 for the first one, so let's see. When my partner arrives home or approaches me, I feel inexplicably stressed, especially when he or she wants to connect. I put a 0 there. So what would make me into a person who doesn't feel inexplicably stressed when my partner comes home or approaches me? Well, if I bring you into my inner world, I know you must be safe because otherwise you wouldn't have gotten there. Because as a kid, like I said, I didn't feel all that. I didn't feel emotionally all that connected to my parents in a lot of ways. They weren't supportive of me being different, gay and independent or any of it. So I would say I did feel this way several times, maybe as a child, or no, not stressed, maybe depressed, numbed out or depressed. Like yeah, you could say, but that's still dismissive. We could go with that. But definitely as an adult, I don't feel this way because I don't ever bring people like that into my life. And that's why I would put a 0. That's why I put a 0. I find myself minimizing the importance of close relationships in my life. After that, I put a 3. Yeah, me and my best friend have been spoken in almost a year. We've had very little to talk about. I'm just trying to get focus on work, school. I definitely minimize the importance of those close relationships 100%. And what made me into a person who's that way? Oh, I had to do a lot of focusing on work and school to get to where I've gotten to. My friendships didn't bring me to where I've gotten to. Actually, a lot of my friendships in life have brought me, well, they were okay when they lasted, and then they kind of fell apart. And then often an opportunity showed up in another city, and I moved. And when I moved, we just didn't really connect the same anymore. That's a big case for much of my life. Constantly chasing new opportunities. I also just feel like, friendships are great, but eventually, if people start to kind of run your nerves, then maybe it's time to start bringing new people into your life. 3, I insist on self reliance. I have difficulty reaching out when I need help and do many of life's tasks or hobbies alone. I got a 3 for that. That includes me doing this right here, right now. Yes, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So what made me into a person who was that way? I mean, spending a lot of time alone as a kid. A lot of time alone as a kid. Feeling like if I don't do it by myself, it isn't going to happen. So I have to make it happen. But not knowing how to like, maybe being too embarrassed even to ask anybody for help, because if I think people tell me no, that's going to make me even angrier. Unfortunately, it doesn't make me more determined. It often just makes me angrier. And then when I get angrier, I want to quit. I want to quit or beat myself up. So I kind of just shut down or I shut people out and do it myself. Ooh, I mean, have never actually said all those words out loud. Number four, I sometimes feel superior in not needing others and wish others were more self-sufficient. I don't care so much about the self-sufficient part, and I don't feel superior. I wouldn't use the term superior because that sounds very arrogant. But do I feel very competent? Like I can make it happen even if no one else can? Yes. Yes, that is the word. Yeah, yes, I absolutely do feel that way. I just wouldn't use the word superior. Okay. I absolutely do feel that way. So I put a two for that one. So what would make me into a person who is that way? Like I said, having to do it on my own and succeeding at it, you know. If I failed at all of it, maybe I wouldn't be so confident about it. Really relying on that confidence, huh? Attaching, attaching. Anything that don't give me that, I might avoid. Hmm. Anything that made me feel dependent or lacking, I might definitely avoid. I might definitely avoid. Hmm. Number five, I feel like my partner is always there, but would often prefer to have my own space unless I invite the connection. Now, for that one, I put a two there, but I could have put a three. I don't have a partner right now. Well, I am kind of seeing someone, but we haven't actually met up in person yet. So it's very new, still kind of new relationship. It's still definitely a very new relationship. It's only been 2 months. Um, but yes, I like having my own space, unless I invite the connection. Absolutely. And what made me into a person who's that way? I locked myself in my room to deal with a lot of my problems with my family. I just locked myself in a room and played music and did my own thing. Didn't want my family in my space. That's how I walled myself off to keep myself safe as a kid. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm very aware of that. Sometimes I prefer casual sex instead of a committed relationship. I would say no to that, but my life history would say yes. So okay, well, what made me into a person that would say no to that? That doesn't have this problem. Well, what made you into a person that feels that way? Well, it's way easier to get casual sex in the gay world than a committed relationship. But I don't prefer it. I put a zero. So what makes me someone that doesn't prefer it? I'm really serious about wanting a family. I wanted to have a connection and a deep bond with somebody and build something meaningful and I always really wanted that. There's a part of me that absolutely would really have loved it if at this point I had a 20-year relationship with somebody. It would have been amazing to grow and develop with someone like that. It just didn't work out that way. Oh. Okay, let's keep moving. I usually prefer relationships with things or animals instead of people. I put yes, I put a big yes on that one. Yeah. 2.5. So what made me into a person who is that way? You know, I had a guinea pig when I was a kid. I had a guinea pig. I took pretty good care of the guinea pig until, over time I kind of got neglectful, and then the guinea pig got a bad cold and died, and it was really tragic. And my parents just refused to let us have more pets after that. When I was an adult, I finally got, um, well, the first pet I ever had as an adult was I got some chickens. Got a whole bunch of chickens and ducks and geese. I raised those in New Orleans for a couple of years. And then I was complaining that I thought the ducks didn't give me enough affection, so I eventually got a cat. And that brings us to this picture right here. I definitely feel like my connections I've made with animals have brought me a lot of love and a deep, sustaining kind of love that maybe I often don't get in my relationships with people. I mean, some of the birds I raised them for years, at least 2 years, and that's longer than any relationship I've actual dating relationship I've had with a person. It's funny also because right here there's a goose right here. So funny. Okay. I mean, I can also say that animals are way more simpler than people. So, with a relationship with an animal, you don't have to deal with nearly as much back and forth conversation. Your animals may or may not understand your feelings nearly, the complexity of your feelings nearly as well. So it's not exactly the same as a relationship with the person. I think it's just a lot easier. It's a lot easier. It's a low bar. So you don't have to deal with rejection. Well, you may still have to deal with rejection. I have to deal with rejection sometimes from this cat, he ain't feeling it. He ain't feeling it. But it's probably way better. It's way easier than dealing with the stuff you'd have to deal with a human being, obviously, right? So So there you go. So there you go. That's why you might prefer relationships with things or animals instead of people. I mean, I played music all my life. That was my main thing is playing music. So I guess my guitar's upstairs. My guitar's upstairs. I've been playing music my whole life. So that's a big relationship with a thing. I mean, you could easily say the piano. The piano saved me from committing suicide. You could say that as a gay teenager. And yes, and you could say the piano was my best friend, was my therapist, was my comfort zone for many years. I often find eye contact uncomfortable and particularly difficult to maintain. Yeah, I had a pretty high rating on that one too. Yeah. I don't like to look at people in the eye sometimes, but often I will like turn away and listen. I like to close my eyes sometimes when I'm talking or when I'm listening because I can take in the words better. Eye contact, it's intense. It's kind of intense. I never say this out loud. I never actually say these words out loud, but it's kind of intense. So I often avoid it. And also, I should just say, not even eye contact, but also like conversation. Conversation itself sometimes is difficult to maintain. After you talk for a little while, kind of exhausted. I want to kind of go back to like not talking, or do we have to keep talking? I got to think of things to talk to you about. I often expect other people to keep talking, and I just kind of nod and give an answer here and there and let someone else carry the conversation. Sometimes I can carry conversation, but most of the time I struggle with that. I really do. And that's a lifetime. Why am I a person who is that way? Well, one thing I could point to is a lifetime of spending a lot of time watching television, interacting with TV. One thing I would say is as a male, you're not expected to carry conversation the same way a female might be. And I would definitely say as a black male, I'm not expected to carry conversation the way even a white male might. So so there's that. The expectation isn't even really placed on me to the same degree. Certainly was not placed on me and my family as much as I love talking to people and connecting with people. Often my mother, well, my mother, the moment our this came up in therapy on Friday, but the moment a conversation went above a whisper, went above moderate talking, that's it. My mother was ready to pull out a belt and whip us for yelling. She just interpreted everything, like any kind of debate we had, as yelling, and then she grabbed a belt. So I think that made me very afraid. I'm pretty sure those experiences made me very afraid to just maintain eye contact with people. It wasn't until we were like 12. I was 12 and she was like, no, I'm going to let you all argue because people at work said it's good that kids, you're discussing and that's going to teach you language skills and that's important. So I'm going to let it happen. But by that point, I had been through many years of, being smacked for just, having a vigorous debate, just having for just a disagreement with somebody, you know? I can see why that make me very avoidant and dismissive. Who wants to get smacked for just having an opinion? How that might lead you up to expect the worst. So you'd rather just avoid it. Not, it sets you up to not expect support, so you rather just avoid it. And number 9, it is easier for me to think things through than to express myself emotionally. Now that's not true for me as of right now, but for most of my life, that absolutely was the truth. So I went ahead and put a 2.5. So yes, what made me into a person who was that way? Until very recently in my life, I was somebody, the last 5 years or so, I was someone who was very much all in my thoughts, all in my thoughts, all in my thoughts, figuring out plans, coming up with things, figuring out what I think about things, how even figuring out how I feel, just it's all thoughts, 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 thoughts all over the place. All over the place. That's how I dealt with my childhood situation also, was I didn't know how to escape and I couldn't run away and I didn't feel accepted. So I just mentally went into like in my head and just constantly was always thinking about work or thinking about assignments or thinking about the creative things I was doing, like the writing and the drawing I was doing. I was always just thinking, always watching TV, even watching TV. I'm constantly analyzing what's on TV, putting things together, constantly thinking, constantly thinking. Why would I want to feel my emotions? I felt shitty a lot. Why would I want to feel that? Right. Hmm. Okay. And then number 10, when I lose a relationship, at first I might experience separation elation and then become depressed. So I had to say I put a 2 for there, but that's mostly me also. Actually, I this week had to tell the guy I'm seeing that I'm not appreciating some things that are going on and I can't take it. So I'm going to just talk to you at the end of the week. Normally we talk every day. We had about 2-3 days we didn't talk at all. And I was on the day number 1, I actually felt really happy that we weren't talking. I was like, oh, free, I'm on my own again. And then the next day I missed him and I missed chatting with him. I even missed disagreeing with him. So what would make me into a person that's that way? Constantly having to argue with your parents makes you into someone who you get tired of arguing. Every time they show up, you think an argument's going to happen. So when you finally can get away from them, you feel happy. But then it's like, oh, but I still didn't win the argument. I still didn't win the argument. They still don't understand how I feel. I still didn't get the support I was looking for. So yeah, so nothing really got better. But nothing really got better. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. So nothing really got better. You just always feel stuck. Okay, now let's try the final category, disorganized. I didn't, this wasn't my highest category, so I'm not gonna pick all of them. As you can see, if you go through all of them, it can be pretty intense, right? Let's just pick a couple here. Number 3. I have an exaggerated startle response when others approach me unexpectedly. Yes, I definitely, I jump like that. My mom did that too. Yes. And why? Why? My mom was very badly abused as a child. Very badly abused as a child. And I also got the belt. I think that means, I mean, I don't recall it suddenly getting it out of the blue, but I do feel like that history of a physical abuse makes you into someone who has those sort of physical reactions, those extreme physical reactions, right? You can't totally feel safe in your body if at any moment you say the wrong thing and the belt's coming. So you can't feel safe in your body. You can't feel safe just on ordinary life. Like, who knows? At some point, I probably did say something, and then mom didn't like it, and I thought I was fine, but then the belt came. Right? That happened plenty of times, actually. Now that the memory serves me correct, I remember one time I snuck into the cabinet and I ate some sugar, and then I spilled sugar all over the floor. Now, I felt sorry that I spilled sugar all over the floor. And if my mom had said, hey, now, we need to clean this sugar, let's clean it up, and tell me how to clean it up, I probably would have. But she didn't do that. She just got mad and then grabbed the belt. So what comes up for me is that sudden startled response of, oh, no, this is going to give me the belt? Like, what? I just wanted some sugar. That's what comes up for me. That's what comes up for me. Okay, let's try a low number here. Number 4. My partner often comments or complains that I am controlling. Okay, no one says that about me at all. Okay, so what made me into a person that does not have a problem with this? Well, I mean, I just felt like most of the arguments I had as a kid were about my parents being really controlling. They were really controlling, really controlling. I got fed up with it all the time. So I I decided I wouldn't be a person who was really controlling. But, the downside is sometimes I really could take control and I don't, or I don't feel like I have the support to really take control, so I don't. Because I had to spend so much time just arguing, you know? Okay. Okay, let's try another, the highest number one here. I don't have any other threes in these categories here. Okay, let's go with this one. I got a two here. I often expect the worst to happen in my relationship. Okay, that's a pretty midpoint. I got a two on that one. What would make me into a person who has this? Well, I don't always expect the worst, but I would say that when I start finding out stuff that I don't like, then I usually do jump to kind of like, oh no, this is not good. This is not good. We need to back up to square one here. We made progress, but no, no, no. I don't like what I'm hearing here. So let's back up to square one. That is kind of built on expecting the worst. What made me into a person who's that way? Well, and a lot of times that, I was sort of hoping for something, or I won't say promised, but was kind of assumed that I was going to get something, or my parents heard me, and then they didn't hear me. I didn't get it. They didn't get it. They told me no. On a few occasions, they made it even, not only not supported me, but laughed at me when I said I wanted it. Mm. Okay, maybe one more here, another zero, number seven. I have a hard time remembering and discussing the feelings related to my past attachment situations. I disconnect, dissociate, or get confused. And I put a zero for that one because obviously I'm here right now talking about all of my experiences. So there you go. I don't have a hard time with that. What makes me into a person who doesn't have a hard time with that? Well, because I'm really big on talking all my stuff out. I talk my stuff out with myself, talking it out openly with other people. That's what led to all of this, and I do that to give myself a sense of organization, orientation, because it wasn't coming in my family. So I had to kind of rely on me to make that happen, which kind of goes back to that self-reliant thing on the avoidant category. Kind of makes me see how those things are interrelated. If anything, I have the opposite problem. I remember them so well, I can constantly repeat them, constantly relive the situation in my mind. Okay, people. You can see, this cuts deep, okay? Oh, as you can see, this cuts deep. Sorry. As you can see, this cuts deep. Okay, so practice. Get in touch with these feelings, practice. You can do this exercise again, it's very easy. It had a really big effect on me. It's about the third time I've done this, and I'm really amazed at how much it just keeps unlocking things that have been blocked up in my brain for so long. Okay, so whatever self-care things you need, please practice them. I'm going to say I had meant to pause halfway during the show and actually put a potato in the oven. That was going to be part of my self-care plan, but then I conned myself into continuing because I really wanted to see how this would go for me, and it was as big as I thought it would be. So my self-care is going to go, when this is over, go put a potato in the oven. Okay. Just want to take a moment, and whoever's watching this, I want to say thank you for your time, your openness, your willingness to connect to these super deep feelings. Please practice and please share with others. So many people have a hard time with their feelings. If you can help in any way, please share or do these exercises with them. Okay. If it can help. Okay. Okay. And if you're interested, please come to class 5 to 7 every Saturday. And the link is in Meetup, 5 to 7 every Saturday. Please feel free to come. Okay. And I always like to end on this note. Whatever you felt, something positive, loving, upbeat, warm, embracing, or if you felt something painful, nasty, disgusting, and gross, it is okay because we are learning how to feel. We have to feel all our feels so that we can heal. Okay, so good luck feeling through all your feelings. It is your job to take care of your inner emotional life. No one else can do it for you. So good luck. And I will see you next week, where we'll be discussing inner child work in detail. Okay. Bye, everyone. Potato time.